Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our IAS PCSwala Delhi current affairs. Today is the 12th of the May. We will see that all the relevant news from the today's newspaper that are important for UPSC and state pieces. So one by one we will start that what are the topics that we are going to cover. There are near about 8 topics that we are going to cover. The first topic is the study shows the impact of climate change linked hazard on women and children. So it is on the front page. This talk about how the climate change, the disproportionate impact on the women and children, because they are most vulnerable. They have to, their impact is disproportionate and they have the less protection and the safety, and that's why they are mostly impacted. So we will see that what are the impact in a specific manner. So this will be for the GS paper 3 environment as well as the vulnerable section of the society. So GS paper 1 society, not 2, it is 1 society. So for the mains as well as for the prelims. Then we will see that the Punjabi poet Surjit Patar, that he has been passed away and he is the uh, Padam Shri awardee. So this is important for the state pieces. He is mainly writer into the Punjabi language. So we will see that what are the important literature that he has written. After that, author Ruskin Bond, he has been awarded at the Sahitya Academy Fellowship Award. That is the one of the most prestigious literature award. So we will see that it is important for the state pieces. Same Delhi Reach. This is also important for the UPSC prelims as well. UPSC prelims, that what is the Delhi Reach and how it is going to impact the landscape, flora and fauna into the Delhi landscape. So this will be from this side. Then we will see that slow burning life. So here we will see that the how we will see that what is this. I think that this is the line we don't have, but it is coming from somewhere. Okay, yeah. Slow burning life. This is from the how the impact of the brick kilns. There is the involvement of the women. They are working after the agriculture farming season. They come to the brick kilns and there they work. So we will see that how the climate change is impacting. So it is the extension of the this article. So that's why I thought that yes, there is the linkage between the it's the linkage with the other article. So there has been the so many picture that has shown that how the children of those women who are working in these vehicles got impacted. So again, this is same thing, the impact of the climate change on the vulnerable section of the society, women and children. Then we will see that the Karnataka High Court ruling on the EPF, in Employment Provident Fund benefit. This is the social security against the job loss. Particularly, this is the economic security as well. So this will be part of GS paper 3. Then we will see that what are the rules on the contesting seats. So we will see that the different provision that make the different type of the disqualification for those candidates who are going to contest into the state assembly election as well as the Lok Sabha election. So it will be for the GS paper 2 polity. Then in the last we will see that how in India is streamlining the pharma sector. So we will see that there has been the withdrawal of the authority for the non-objection certification that was previously given by the state authority. Now it will be for the central drug authority. Okay, so we will see that how it is going to impact the India pharmaceutical sector. So it will be part of the GS paper 3. So let's start with the front page. The front page again. Studies show impact of the climate change linked hazard on the women and the children. So you will see that the women and the children, how they are impacting, they are going to impact their different type of the physical growth. For example, the children, they can they are underweight. We have seen that in the most of the northeastern area, they have been the stunted. Stunted means their age has increased, but their height has not increased. Despite the age As per the age, the height also increased, but we have seen that the wherever due to the food insecurity or the some of the impact on the health, the height do not increase as per the age. This is known as the stunting. Then underweight. Underweight means if my age is 10 years, I am expected to be 20 kg or something like that. So the weight of the children as per the age is not matching. So in one height and in other the weight. Both cases the age is common. Age is increasing but the weight is not increasing. Age is increasing but the height is not increasing, so it will be stunted. We have seen that in the northern states such as the UP, the stunting is high. In the area of the South Madhya Pradesh and the northern Maharashtra, the underweighting is high. More vulnerability to early pregnancy. We have seen that due to the health hazard, we have seen that the women get married in the early stage, and that's why the pregnancy is on the early stage. So this is all from the our one of the prominent chairperson, that is the Soumya Swaminathan. She has brought this issue of the climate change impact on the women and children in the under-researched and often overlooked into the policy formulation. We do not have the exact data that how it is impacting. We know that the impact is there, but the exact research study is not there, and that's why the policy formulation is not as per the data. And we have seen that the climate and the health hotspot, in order to specifying the understand, specifically to understand the impact of the flood, cyclone and the drought on the health of the women and the children. That is the main effort that we are making, and we have brought the some of the area that is mostly impacted. For example, Bihar, Gujarat, UP, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal and the Telangana. Most of the northern state, two states from the south, Andhra Pradesh and the Telangana. Okay. So these are the climate related disasters, and mostly these are the hydromet hazards. So hydromet hazards where the water is involved, for example the flood, cyclone and the drought. In all three, the lack of the water or the high extreme amount of the water, that is the main cause of the concern. So for the prelims, you should understand, you should remember that this was from she was attending the Women Lift Health Global Conference where she made all these observations. So here you will see that it is being held into the Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam, that is the capital of the Tanzania. So please remember this for the state pieces. So here into the map of Africa, you will see that the Tanzania in this side, I think, where is Tanzania? This side. The capital is the Dodo. Dar es Salaam, this is not the capital, this is the coastal region, one of the cities. So please just, Dodoma is the capital. We already have other area that we will study in the further in our session. Okay. So this is all about from this news article. Further, there are the political news. We will not go into that much detail. Here the Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of the Delhi, he is out of the jail, and he has asked that whether after this election, when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he will cross the 75 years of the age, he will follow the same rule that he introduced in 2014. So here the Kejriwal is telling that if he will retire into the 2025 when his age will be crossing to 75, so who will be the Prime Minister? Amit Sir will be Prime Minister. So he is asking that whether the Modi is taking the guarantee on the behalf of the Amit Sir, and he is talking about the Yogi Adityanath will be sidelined the same way as we have seen that they have sidelined the leaders in 2014 like the Lal Krishna Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Sumitra Mahajan and the Yashwant Sinha on the ground of the age. Okay, so here you will see that the acquisition of the one nation, one leader mission for the dictatorship. So here all this thing has been, that is all the political news. We will not go into that much detail. The second news on the front page is the college into the Kerala take up a digital tool into the battle against the declining enrollment rate. So why there is the declining enrollment rate? It is due to the more demand for the nursing and the allied job. post-COVID-19 situation. We have seen that the demand for the nursing job was high during the COVID, and that's why the students are opting for this area. Besides that, we have seen that the traditional courses are not that much like now, and the international migration, the people of the Kerala, they are mostly now dependent on the job sourcing opportunity into the West Asia, such as the Saudi Arabia, Qatar, okay, UAE, all these area, and the competition from the out of the state institution. So there has been the lack of the demand into the college, and they are going for the digital mode for this educational trend. Okay. Beside that, this beautiful picture, that is the natural event, and it is due to the solar storm. So storm, that is the result of the two sun spot, they are merging, and a giant spot of 16 times the size of the earth has been created. So what are these the sunspot? They are the charged particles, they are coming out of the radiation from the sun, and yes, charged particle from the sun outer atmosphere, and they interact with our the magnetic field around the earth, and they give the different type of the lightning into the two pole where there is the concentration of the magnetic field. So you will see that here earth, and this is the physical pole, and very near it is the magnetic pole of the earth. So the earth magnetic field, that is going from this side to this side, so there is the concentration of the magnetic field, and that's why here whenever the charged particle from the sun comes, they collide with them and they give a beautiful lightning that is known as the aurora. So aurora. So please remember this. This is known as the red colored auroral arc into the Ladakh. That has been into the Ladakh area. So this is due to in the Ladakh area, it is due to the height. Okay. So please remember all this thing. Next important news, that is for the state pieces, Punjabi poet Surjit Patar passed away at the 79 into the Ludhiana. So he had been given the Padam Shri, and his famous poetic work is the Hawa which likhne harf, Anere which sulagdi varnamala, Patjat di Pajev, Lafja di Dargah, and Sarjami. These are the major work of the Surjit Patar. He was the professor of the Punjab University, Punjab Agriculture University. So these are the important facts you should remember. Next thing is the Delhi Reach. So this is for the prelims. You should know what is the Delhi Reach. This is the extension of the Aravalli. Aravalli is the oldest known mountain. It is the older than the Himalaya, and once upon a time, at its young stage, it was much higher than the present day Himalaya. So you can know that how the mighty thing also reduced to the ground. So gradually it is now decaying, and the extension of that Aravalli is the Delhi Reach, and this is important for the many of the species such as the leopard, and also the water content. Okay, so here they are important for providing the green cover of the national capital and a critical habitat of the leopard, hyenas, and the jackal. So you must have been listening the different news that the leopard has been entering into the house, into the outer area of the Delhi, village area of the Delhi. This is due to this Delhi reach, that is the habitat of the these species. More than 400 plants are there, 108 species of the birds, and the 36 species of the mammals, which include the leopard and hyenas and the jackal. This is the important thing that you should remember. Other important news, again important for the prelims state pieces, is the author Ruskin Bond awarded with the Sahitya Academic Fellowship. So Sahitya Academic Fellowship Award, this is the highest honor given by a literary organization, and yes, the important area of the work of Varghese Kurian is the vagrant in the valley. So mostly it is associated with the hilly area. He lives into the Mussoorie, and he born into the Kasauli, Himachal, all beautiful places. Other important work is the Once Upon a Monsoon Time, Angry River, that is very famous. Strangers in the Night, although leads to the Ganga, this is also important. Tales of the Foster Guns and Leopard on the Mountain and Too Much Trouble. These are the important ones. Please remember, UPSC or the state pieces, they can ask any of, they can give any of these work, and they will ask that who is the author. So you can go for the Ruskin Bond. Next important news that we are going to take, this gives an example of the impact of the climate change on the vulnerable section as well as the impact of climate change on the children, and also the vulnerable section such as the poor section of the society, those who are working into these brick kilns. So here the pictures has shown one of the, it is the picture from the one of the brick kilns into the Andhra Pradesh. The first, this shows that the rice husk that has been mixed with the clay. So into the brick kilns, before they bake these bricks, what they do, they prepare it by the mixing the clay with the rice husk. Here it is shown. Here it has shown that how the clay is to be pressed into the brick molds. Okay, molds are there, and they are used to shape the brick. After that, in the next page, it shows that these workers, they start into the very early morning. Look, the early morning, the rise of the sun, because in these areas the temperatures are very high. For example, the temperature of environment, the sun is scorching sun into the day, that is very high level of the temperature. Same time, there is the burning of the brick, there is the fire around these brick kilns. So the temperature that adds from that area as well, and they work into the open sky. There is no shade, and that's why they suffer a lot. This shows that the women, how they are working to collect for their livelihood. Here you will see that these workers, they are generally they are farmers. During the farming season, they work in their agriculture field, and after the season of the farming, they come to the skills and they work here. And for the whole of the day, for the 12 hours of the day, they work and they just get 10,000 per month. So here you will see that they suffer from the physical strain, extreme weather, and exposure to the brick dust bring back a host of the health problem. Children of the brick kilns workers are often forced to accompany their parents to work instead of attending the school. Here you will see that how the children, they are impacted. So this shows that how there is the cycle of the poverty. They are already poor. Their children are not getting chance to get education, and that's why they also become the poor. The cycle of the poverty is there, because if you are not educated, if you are not getting a good education and the good health, your future will not be that well. So you can give the example of how those who are already weak, those who are already poor, their children are also not getting the chance to get educated, and that's why they will be also part of the cycle of the poverty. What is the cycle of the poverty? Here you can see that the generation by generation, this impact their income status. For example, if the family is poor and their children, they are not educated, health is not good, their mental ability will not that much better, and that's why they cannot take a better decision or the better opportunity for employment. Even they cannot do the business because they don't have the capital. So they again walk into this type of the kilns, or they become the labor. Again, their children, they will not have the money for the education, they will not have the same health facility. Again, they will do for the same time of the work. So poverty cycle continue. There is no chance to break this poverty cycle, and this is the region where the government expected to provide the facility for them. For example, the government, and they try to risk these children and readmit into the school. But these are not better facility. They are just on the papers. In the reality, the education system is not good for these people and these children, and that's why this failed. The state welfare scheme here failed. So this is all about, again here, so that how the children of the skilled workers, even their childhood, that get destroyed in all these works. Many a times they also work with their parents. Okay. So these are the things you can use. Again, look, the children are watching their parents. This is the scene where this person that is applying the cow dung before the baking of these children, these bricks. And here, the way the family survive, they live on the makeshift, and they try to live by anyhow, by anyhow they try to survive, they pass their life. This is all about from this news analysis. Here you can use this impact of the climate change on the poor people, because they are working into the open. As the temperature rise go high, the most negative impact will be on these people, because their health will be deteriorated, because they are walking into the open sky. And beside that, their children, they are not able to get the chance for the education, and that's why they become the victim of the poverty cycle. So these are the 2-3 points you can use whenever the question comes from the mains. Next important news that we are going to take is with respect to the Employee Provident Fund. So what is this Employees Provident Fund? EPF, you must have listened. This is for those who are working into the government services. Now it is applied to the private services as well. But this is a type of the security that is provided to the workers. That workers, if they are retired, they should have some money to survive. Maybe if a workers, they don't have that much high salary, their salaries are around 15,000 per month, 20,000 per month. Those who are the labor worker, those who are the factory worker, those salary is not that much high. So for them, the government tried to bring the social security. And what are the act that is provided for that? Employment Provident Fund Scheme 1952. Employee Pension Scheme 1995, and one more thing is that Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952. All these things provide for the safety net for the workers. So here you will say why this is into the news. This is mainly new into the news because of the Karnataka High Court decision for the striking down one of the provision of this Employment Provident Fund Scheme of 1952. What is this? This provision provide that the foreign employees, it was amended into the 2008, and it amended to bring international worker within the fold of the statute. Okay. However, there is a discriminatory behavior. There is the other rule for those who are working, those foreign citizens working in India. For example, here it is given that a minimum period for the 6 months are mandated to make the provident fund contribution, which include the 12% of the employee total salary. Here you will see that if I am worker, 12% of my salary will be cut. The same times the employer, those who are the owner, they also have to provide the same contribution, matching contribution that is provided by the employer, those who are the owner. Here you will see that for the Indian workers, the ceiling is 15,000, and for the foreigners there is no ceiling. So that's why this is discriminatory. And here the High Court of the Karnataka find that it is against Article 14 of the Indian Constitution that talk about the equality before law. Here you are not bringing the equality. Besides that, one more thing is that based in India, it is permitted only for the withdrawal of the money. Those who are working into the foreigners who are working into the India, and if they are part of the provident fund, they can withdraw their money only after attaining the age of 50, 80 years of the age, or that they have become permanent incapacity. Means they are not able to do the things. Some accident happens and they become the handicap and they are not able to do anything. Only in that case they can withdraw the money. In most of these cases, they do not able to get that money because their period to work into the India is very limited. So this is the one thing that has been opposed. Besides that, you should know that the social security agreement, this is being done by the India with the other countries. Why? Many a times, those who are Indians, if they go into the foreign country, they have to contribute into the India as well as the rule, as per the rule of that country. So those workers had to pay for the two times. And there is a lot of confusion that where I should pay, what money I will get after the retirement. To reduce that confusion, the government of India do the agreement with the many countries. Now we have near about the agreement with the 35 countries where it is given. Yes, the SSA of India is with. Okay, so here somewhere it has given that it is around 21 countries. Here it is given. Okay, so it is with the 21 countries, means if I am worker of the India, if I am a citizen of India and I go to the Saudi Arabia and I am working, so I have to contribute into the Indian Provident Fund, as well as the law of the Saudi Arabia still that I have to contribute into the Saudi Arabia Provident Fund. So I am a worker, I have the double burden, double coverage. To reduce that, India has done the social security agreement with those countries, and they have decided that if I am a worker, I am Indian citizen and going to work into the Saudi Arabia, I have to pay either into the India or the Saudi Arabia. So it is as per my discretion I will choose. Generally, Indians choose for the Indian Provident Fund. So this is here the rule. Okay, beside that you will see that the main aim of this Provident Fund is to safeguard the industrial workers, and it is not for the anyone who was earning any salaries. Those who are already earning the salary into the lakhs, why they need the social security? They can save lot of money. They will have a lot of property by the end of their life. So the judgment says that the judge said that this is not for the employees who have the drawing the lot of salaries. Okay, so retirement, this those lower salaries bracket gets the retirement benefit, and no stretch by the imagination could be said that the employees who draw the lakhs of the rupees per month, they will have to be covered under this scheme. So here, this is the other ground that has been struck down. Here again, it is telling that there is the difference between the Indian workers and the foreign workers. For the Indian workers, we are providing the ceiling of the 15,000, but the foreign workers, there is no ceiling for the international workers, and that's why it is against the right to equality, Article 14 of the Constitution, because Para 83 clearly discriminate the treating international workers and the Indian origin and the foreign origin workers. Okay, so here these are the things that is the mainly a main core area. Under that, the judiciary has introspected and the judgment has been brought down. What could be the impact? Here it is talking about the what could be the implication. The implication could be that in the Karnataka, this law is invalid. Now they will not apply the 83 of the 83 paragraph 83 of the Employment Provident Fund scheme. This act and 83 section 83 of this will be not apply. However, what will happen to the other states? Because this is the judgment from the state of the Karnataka. As per the rule, the other state can also imply the same order. However, the Provident Fund Act of 1952 will be imply and apply for the those state, and that's why the discriminatory provision will be continue. However, the other states, again the cases will be filed into those high courts, and there could be the same judgment on the basis of the Karnataka High Court. So these are the implication. Here it is given that yes, the High Court of the Karnataka, the order of that is not implemented not binding into the other state. However, they can copy the same thing. There could be the cases on the same ground, and in the future, for that, the writers had suggested that the Indian government should bring a law as per the judgment of the High Court of the Karnataka, so that it can be the confusion with regard to the other state on this provision. 83 paragraph, para 83 of this law should be made clear to the workers. So this is all about from this news. You should know that why it was struck down, because there was the discriminatory behavior. and with respect to the Indian workers and the workers from the foreign origin. That was main ground. So this is all about from this news article. Next important news that we are going to take from the science and technology page. Here it is shown that 30-year study link ultra processed food to risk of early death. So you should be very careful about the whenever you are going to use the ultra processed food. What is the ultra processed food? Ready-made eat meat. Whenever you go and get the already cooked food that is packaged, they are the ultra food. Okay, ultra processed food means they have been the processed for the so many with the so many intensity. Okay, poultry and seafood. Okay, beside that, whatever the cold drink you do, so many processes is being done, and that is not good for your health. Dairy based dessert, whenever you take the sweets and that is made up of the use of the milk, they are also not good, and highly processed breakfast food. So these are the things that you should avoid, and there has been so many data of the death has been given, that how many death has been found with respect to the all this thing. So please, you should be very careful with your diet. Now the diet, this recent diet, evolving diet, such as the processed food, cold drink, all this thing is very recent. We don't have that much data that what is the impact have been done. 70 years, 80 years, 100 years back, all this was that was introduced. Now the result we are seeing. So be very careful whenever you use. This is not just for the UPSC relevance, but for your general purpose, for each of the person, each of the human being, each of the men and women should know that what is the bad effect of all this processed food. They are very tasty whenever you eat, but for your health they are not good. So this is all about. Then in the next news we will see that magpies of the Himalayas. So here you will see that these magpies of the Himalaya, they are very unique. Okay, so let me show you these different varieties. They are known as the corvids. In the collective manner, they are known as the corvids. Here you will see that the crow, different type of the crow, they comes under this species group corvids. Okay, blue jays, Steelers jay, they are also coming under they also come under this corvids, and they are considered as the noisy and a curious bird, and they are associated with the many of your destiny, good omen, bad omen, all these are they have associated with. For example, if the crow start making the noise whenever you go somewhere, so this is not considered the good in Indian culture. So not only in the Indian culture, in the many of the Western culture, they have the so many associated superstition. So you should know, but you should know that mainly what are the varieties of these magpies. Where they found, they are mostly found into the elevated area, but yes, you can find them across the India. For example, this yellow and the red-billed magpies, they are mainly found into the Sikkim area, the hilly area. So this is all about you should know. Other news that we are going to cover is again from the science and technology, and it is talking about the due to the high amount of the rain, heavy rain and the snowfall, we have seen that increase in the intensity of the earthquake, is small scale earthquake. Simply, if you will see that if this is this is the land here, and if there is a lot of rainfall or this is the snowfall, so what will happen? These rainfall, they will be collected here, they will go through the porous area and they will create the pressure difference inside the earth. So maybe here that part of that will become a bit watery, and that's why there is a chance that there could be the change in its shape. They could break down here, and there will be the shaking of the earth here, and that will result into the earthquake. So this is happening due to the you must have seen that whenever you go through your road or any of the in the village area, and if there is no metallic road, you will find that somewhere there is the change in the landscape and the change into the status and the solidification of the surface due to the heavy rainfall. and that is, if that is happening on a large scale, so that is going to change over all the structure inside the earth, and there could be the shaking of the earth surface that result into the earthquake, and that has been found continuously. There has been the data from the Japan. We have seen that from 2020 there has been so many change in such landscape, and the seismic velocity has been increased. So this is here. Next important news that we are going to take is how is India streamlining the pharma sector. So India is known as the center for the pharmaceutical industry of the South. It is the focus point of the pharmaceutical industry of the South. So here you will see that not only we are supplying for the India, we are supplying for the developing nations such as the Africa, and even for the many other developed nations. What we provide? Generic drug, the cheap drug that is affordable for the poor people. However, we have seen that there has been recently so many objection and so many fault has been found into the product from the India into the pharmaceutical industry. For example, one of the very much stark example that was into the debate across the world was the death of the children. 66 children died due to the consumption of the syrup that was manufactured in India. Death of these 66 children, Republic of the Gambia, one of the country into the Africa. There was in the other countries, for example, in Cameroon also there was a death due to the syrup. We have found that there has been the proportion of the sugar was very high into the many of the product, even not this pharmaceutical industry, but normal product. So here the scrutiny has been there for our medicine as well as our food product. So you will see that now the Indian government and its main agency that regulate the drug standard, Central Drug Standard Control Organization, it has withdrawn the power delegated to the state authority. For what? For giving the non-objection certificate for the export. The manufacturer get the NOCs first before the exporting the product to the outside countries, for the countries such as the Africa and other developing countries. So here you will see that now the CDSO, what is the full form of the CDSO? Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSO. Now it is the sole authority for giving the NOCs, non-objection certificate to the industry, pharma industry, manufacturing industry for the export. So the thing is that now it is expected that the process will be faster. At the state level there was so many hurdle, so many restriction, obstruction. Now it is fine that due to the control that is going into the hand of this, now it will be easy for the issuing manufacturing license for the drug meant for the export. Okay. Here the data has been given that what has been the India's position. For example, India ranked third worldwide for the producer of the drug and pharmaceutical by the volume. So please don't confuse that it is the India that is the first, it is the third rank. But still we have providing lot of vaccine to the world. For example, 62% of the global demand for the Indian pharmaceutical industry supply. Okay, beside that you will see that 70% of the WHO vaccines that was sourced from the India, 70% out of the 100 vaccine that is sourced to the World Health Organization, 70 is from the India. Very basic vaccine, for example, DPT, diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. The short form of this is the DPT. BCG, Bacillus calmette-guerin. Okay, this is used for the tuberculosis. These are the vaccine that are very important. Measles vaccine that is also used into the Africa. Lot of it is main base is the Africa. These all vaccine they are supplied from the India. So that's so the central role of India into the drug supply, and it is going to grow because between 2022 to 2030, many of the patented product that is going out of the patent domain. What is the patent domain? If I invent some drug, some medicine or any of the product, I get the patent and I will decide who will manufacture out of the product that will be made by this invention. Maybe I invented the drug for the cancer and I will decide, and for the 20 years, there is the number of the years, 20 years, I will have the control on the production. So other cannot control. Think that if only one company have the control on the production of something, so the rate will be high. And India do not have after 20 years when it become for the public domain. So for the whenever it comes to the public domain, the Indian company they can produce the generic medicine out of this invention. Now the invention, my invention right has been gone. So for the India we mainly produce the generic product, and that's why whenever the medicine that goes off the patent, so there is the happiness for us, but there is the sorrow for those company who have invented, because they cannot earn that much, their control has gone. So there is the zero sum game. Those company, but it is better for the humanity that we are producing the generic drug, because the generic drug are the cheap drug. You will go on the pharmaceutical shops, medical shops. So what they provide? If you will ask for the branded medicine for the same type of the constituent, same type of the formula, for the branded drug, the price could be the 10,000 for the 1 month of the medication. For the same drug, for the same formula, if you will ask for the generic, it will be 100 of rupees, 500 of the rupees. So that much difference is there between the price of the generic drug and those who are the branded drug that has the patent control. That's why it is good for the India, and the volume for the production is going to increase, and this will be very much helpful for India to self-reliance at the large scale. India already have doubled its production into the last decade into the pharmaceutical industry. So here you should know, okay. However, India has to face the several challenges because we have very less control on the intellectual property rights. Most of these are controlled by the developed countries such as the Switzerland, such as the Norway, Sweden, US. Most of them are controlled by them, and we also lack into the research and development, and that's why we are dependent on those formula that is invented by the developed country. Okay. Beside that, even when it goes off, you should know what was the product, how they have made into the safe manner, and for that you have to take the permission. So here it is not that you just go and start manufacturing. You have to prove that whatever you are manufacturing, that is the safe and on the basis of that formula. Second thing is that you have to know about the socio-cultural economic impact. Economic means whenever you go to produce something, for what section of the society you are going to produce. For example, there are many of the rare disease. For that, there is the lack of medicine in the market because the poor people cannot afford. So that is the economic, socio-cultural, which section of the society, whether it is acceptable by the particular society or not, what are the medication they are using. Beside that, technological achievement, environmental impact. For example, there has been so much negative impact of the antimicrobial resistance, and it is due to the use of the antibiotics in a unregulated manner, uncontrolled manner. So you will see that environmental impact and the legal factor. To what extent you can produce, even they are invented by the others, whether you are doing the proper type of the testing or not before releasing that. Even if you are going for the generic drug, you have to prove that your medicine is the safe. So all this thing is there. That's why our industry need to adapt the change, and these are the external factor, navigate the regulatory requirement and leverage the technological advancement and align their strategy with the evolving need of the pharmaceutical industry, because the pharmaceutical industry is now evolving. The vaccine prevalence is very high now, and the change of the nature of the virus and the bacteria is also now that is very much frequent. For example, you have seen that the change in the variant of the COVID, The COVID variant, we have seen the so many variants, and that's why we need to adopt to all this thing. Okay, result into the efficiency of the overall process along with the bolstering pharmaceutical export. And this is very important that the proper certification for proper NOCs should be checked and then it will be given. We have seen that there has our pharmaceutical industry was continuously into the news because of the so many crackdown, scrutiny, testing of these pharmaceutical manufacturing. For example, in the Britain, there was the news such as the crackdown on the 18 of the drug companies. Indian government cancelled the license of this much pharmaceutical industry, and that's why that's gain our bad name at the international platform, and it can impact overall export from the India, and that's why it was very important for our central agency to control on this certification. One negative impact of this can be that you can say there could be objection from the state government that you are centralizing the power, because now all the power being centralized due to the central drug standard control organization, they will give NOC. So the power in the hand of the state government that has reduced, and that could be the one of the issue. Here you will see that. Okay, manufacturing licensing from the respective state and UTs, now it is going to the from the hand of the state authority to the central authority. So one of the example of the how the impact of the central state relation by this decision. You can give one of the example. This could be the point of the tussle. So you should learn the linking the thing. Here the polity comes, how there is the power in the hand of the state government that is going to the central government, central authority. So you can, despite this is from the GS paper 3, GS paper 2, regulatory authority as well as the pharmaceutical industry. But here at this point you can use into the polity as well. So whenever you study one topic, there is so much overlapping you have to learn for UPSC. If you are preparing for the UPSC or the state features, this type of the skilling is very important. Interconnection. 3 topics that we have covered. Polity, okay, GS paper 3, pharmaceutical industry, and GS paper 2, different regulatory authority. One of the regulatory authority, CDSCO, Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Okay. Already we have seen that in 2018, the CDSO had permitted state and UT's drug licensing authority. As per the new order, the local regulatory will have to hand over all this thing. Okay, so this is the same thing that is being repeated. Okay, so export of the goods is on the union list, and that's why generally it is into the hand of the central authority. In the case of the delegation of the power, they generally give it to the state authority. So this is not that much, this is not going to alter the state list and the union list. Listing is the same. It was this delegation, and due to the against withdrawal of this delegation, it seems that state can feel that there has been the encroachment in their power, their domain. But in the reality, there could be the justification. You can justify already the export of the goods into the union list, and that's why there is no encroachment. So you have the both point. You can give the point supporting the state and also you can give the supporting point for the union as well. So this is all about from this news, where we have studied that what is going into the pharma industry. Already we have so much capability. However, there has been some of the errors, some of the mistake we have made, and there has been the quality compromise, and that's why we have seen that the change into this power that was given to the state authority, now it is taken to the central authority, licensing power for the export. So this is all about. Next important news again, that we are going from the elections that is going on, how the rule for the contest on the 2 seats. Contesting seats, there is the 2 seats that has been allowed for the contesting for the constituency for the Lok Sabha as well as the state assembly election. So only 2 places where this rule is there, and it is as per the Representation of the People Act. So please remember 1951, it's allow the candidate to contest from the 2 seats. For example, the Rahul Gandhi, that is he is contesting from the Wayanad in the Kerala, as well as now going to the Raebareli, and that's why this is into the news. Before 1996, the situation was that anyone candidate can contest from the as many seats as he desired. So there were the cases that the people are contesting from the 5 places, 5 constituency. However, they can take only one seat. They have to leave the other seats. So what is the bad impact? What is the negative impact? How it is going to negatively impact? The impact is that you have to again you have to arrange for the by-election. So where this expenditure is going on, this is our money that will be used for the all this arrangement. So this is the wastage of the time, wastage of time as well as the money, our taxpayers' money, and that's why it is not good. People are giving tax not for the enjoyment and your security of the seat. The thing is that here you will see that the section 70 that's talking about the by-election is necessary. Besides that, already we have discussed this. So many by-elections were there, and that's why in 1996 it was amended and it was made that only 2 seats. Despite that, even our election commission as well as the law commission, they are of the view that there should be the only one seat that should be allowed for a candidate. A candidate should not be allowed for the contesting more than 1 seat. But the laws are framed and made by the parliamentarians, and they have to this. If we will make for the only 1 seat to be allowed, we will allow only for the 1 seat to be contested by this politician. They have the they will feel the lack of the safety. Even those who talk about the controlling the whole majority of 150 crore people, they are feared to contest from the 1 seat. They are also contesting from the 2 seats. That is the issue. So here you will see that. However, what is the rule for the contesting from the state assembly election for the your residential status? For the Lok Sabha, you can be residents of the any part of the India, and you should have a part of the electorate roles in any of the constituency. So you can be the citizen of the Kashmir, and you can be the part of the electoral role into the Kashmir, but you can contest from a district into the Tamil Nadu. Maybe it could be any of the district. You can contest from the any of the district. Okay. This is for the Lok Sabha election, but the for the state assembly election, you have to be member of the constituent. You have to be part of the electoral laws of the any of the constituency into the state. So if you want to contest from the UP for the state election, you have to be part of the electoral rolls of the state assembly into the UP. You have to be part of this. For the Lok Sabha, this is not. That's why, for the generally this is taken. However, there is some of the exception in the case of the Lok Sabha. In the case of the Lok Sabha, if you are contesting from the Assam, Lakshadweep, and the Sikkim, you have to be part of the electoral roll. You have to be into the electoral roll of these states. Only then you can be contesting for the Lok Sabha. So please remember these 3 exceptions. They can be. UPSC can ask, because UPSC love to ask from the exception as well. But the general rule is that for the Lok Sabha there is no such binding for your registered as the voter into the any constituency. This is not for the Lok Sabha. It is if you are registered into the anywhere into the India, except 3 states: Assam, Lakshadweep, and the Sikkim. So this is given here. Here it is given that what are the minimum age for the Lok Sabha? 25 years for the Lok Sabha. For the Rajya Sabha, it is the 30 years. So please remember, that's why Rajya Sabha is known as the elder house, elder body. Okay. You have to be citizen of India. You have to register into any of the constituency as a voter, valid voter into the India, and you should not be convicted into any of the offense for the imprisonment of the 2 or more than 2 years. Otherwise, you will be disqualified. If you are punished for the 2 years, even if you will get the bail, despite you will be disqualified. So this is the rule. Beside that, other disqualification ground, what could be the other ground for the disqualification? Office of the Prophet. if you have contested the election and you are holding the office of the prophet where this has not been clearly defined into the Indian constitution, we generally go through the court verdict. So the office of the prophet that comes under, I think, article 105. So actually it has not clearly defined that what is the office of the prophet. Generally judiciary, whenever we go into the judiciary decide. Okay. Beside that, other ground for the disqualification, unsound mind and declared by the competent court. If the court declare that your mind is not stable, you are unsound mind, how could you take the decision for the so many people? And that's why generally are not allowed. It is the very common sense that if you don't have the sound mind, how could you take decision of the so many people? Undischarged insolvent. You have declared that you have taken the debt and you are not able to pay back. And the judiciary had declared you that undischarged insolvent. So you can also not you can be disqualified. Okay, if you have voluntarily acquired the citizenship of the other countries, and that's why your country for the India will be invalid. Okay, so these are all the other ground. Beside that, these 2 years, there are some offenses, even if you will be punished in that offense, even for the one day, you will be disqualified. For example, if you are doing something that is, you are using the religion and you are creating the enmity between the people, that is the one of the ground for the disqualification. And we have seen that so many instances into the election that happen, but the candidate are not declared as the disqualification because it is the lack of the interpretation, and many times it is the biased nature of the Election Commission of India. That could be the one of the example where whenever you are going to criticize Election Commission of India, you can bring this example. Okay, so all these things you should know. Recent decision taken by the Election Commission of India to bring more transparency. One of the recent decisions we saw that the political party funding during the election. Recently, we have decreased the cash donation from the 20,000 to 2,000, so that the black money, use of the black money, we can decrease. But however, the political party, they find the loopholes and they try to use these in such a manner that shows that yes, this money, black money is being used into the election. For example, they break down all this 20,000 into the 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 with the different names. Instead of the one person, they will break down into the 10 person have given me 2,000 and they will take from the one person. One person gives in the crore, just they have to, political party have to break down with the different names. They have to take the Aadhaar card of the different candidate, their supporters, and they get it easily. Okay. In 2004, so you can bring some of the area from the 2004 that we have included, that we have banned the transportation of the bank vehicle after the sunset. So ECI has banned. So that the misuse of the money cannot be there. Besides that, they have started checking this non-scheduled charter flight. And here you will see that the leaker they are also searching for. Okay. Here, former election commission of the India, election commissioner of the India is of the view that there is no law that could brought with regard to the muscle power of the candidate. And we have seen that already the power is with the parliamentarians, why they will make such law that is negative for them. And we have also seen that there is some of the satisfaction that due to the use of the paramilitary force, we have reduced the booth capturing tendency. So this is all about from this news. Here we will conclude our session for the today's newspaper. So this is all about from the today's news. These are the most important area that we have covered. So thank you for the joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.